What's up, y'all? AJ Simmons back with another business lesson, and today I want to talk about something that was asked to me by Mr. Steven Jackson on my YouTube channel. Shout out to him. And he was asking the best way to pay employees when you yourself are a franchise owner, or I'm going to add, or if you're a subcontractor for that matter, because sometimes you might not be a franchise owner, but you could still be a subcontractor for a company like Citywide or one of these national chains that hires cleaning companies under them, right? So if you got a middleman in the middle of you, and it's definitely going to be harder to pay people, right? Because why? Because it's less money to go around, right? And so it's two things that goes into it. The first thing is the fact that they taking money off the top. So that's an important number. How much are they taking off the top? Then the second number, which is really the most important, is how much are they bidding, okay? Because if they don't bid high enough, then it won't be enough to go around anyway, or at least not much. And again, I'm in my car, y'all know the deal, so excuse the background noises, but yeah, so here's the best way to do it. First of all, I wouldn't pay by the hour, because again, if you pay by the hour, then your workers can milk the clock, and then they can be in there so long to the point where you don't even make a profit. So I definitely wouldn't pay by the hour. I would pay by the job, or pay by the percentage. So either A, you can just let your employees know straight up, look, we do a 50-50 split, or we do a 70-30 split, or 60-40 split, or however split you want to do it, and say, this is how much the contract pays, you get the 60, I get the 40, or something like that, right? And you just let them know up front, it's 60%, this is what it is. You can do it that way. I really don't like that way, because most employees don't have the wherewithal to understand how business works. So if they see that you're getting a 40% or even a 50%, but you're not cleaning and they are, they're going to wonder why they ain't getting all of it, right? So probably not the best way to go, but you can go that way. Then the other way is to pay by the job, okay? Now, how do you pay by the job? The way I always paid by the job was I base it off of an hourly rate and an hourly scale, but it's still not hourly. So for example, if I got a building, I know that it probably shouldn't take more than an hour and a half to clean, I'll pay somebody for a 2-hour slot. So for example, and I don't tell them this, I kind of do, I actually did used to tell them that. And so what I would do is, if back then I used to pay $10 an hour. Today I probably couldn't get away with that, right? But back then that's what I paid, and it was pretty high. It was like a good competitive rate, because most jobs were still paying $8 an hour, $7.25 and stuff like that. So if it was a 2-hour job, then I would say, okay, well, I'll pay you $20 every time you go to this. If it was a 5-day week count, you do 20 times 5, and you're looking at what, $100, right? A week for that job, because it's a 2-hour job. But really, in reality, I knew it probably wasn't going to take them more than an hour and a half. So one thing I did was I tried to overcompensate. Like if whatever the time I thought it would take, I probably would try to overpay them a little bit on it. That's the first thing, and that's how I would come up with the hour, with the how much I paid them per job. Okay, so you just estimate how long you think it's going to take for them to do it, multiply that by the hourly rate that you typically would pay somebody for a job like that, and then that's the set pay. And if they ever question, well, how come it pays this much? I think it should pay more. And then I always start off with, you think it should pay more? Okay, well, how long does it usually take you to clean this? Well, I'm usually out there about an hour and a half, and I just do the math for them and show them, well, technically you're making, $15 an hour because you're doing it this fast. You see what I'm saying? And so when you break it down to them like that, that usually shut them up, right? So that's how I pay them. Now, with a franchise and as a subcontractor, here's my honest to God opinion on this, and this is what I tell people inside Clean Biz Network. Never subcontract for people, whether it's a franchise or subbing for somebody else. There's only one time when it's okay to subcontract, and it's this: when you plan on cleaning yourself, because that's the only way you're gonna make some money. All right, unless you just plan on cleaning yourself because you just need the money, because you don't have a day job, you quit your job, and you just need some contracts to hold you because that's the only income you got. Then okay, then it makes sense to go ahead and and clean it yourself and take whatever contract you can get, right? Then outside of that, the other time you would take the subcontractor position if you just need cleaning experience, right? You trying to get up under somebody and let them mentor you, right? So they might have a cleaning company and they want to hire you. You tell them hire you as a subcontractor, and then they'll and you just learn under them. They'll show you how to clean and do detail cleaning. That's how I learned to clean over the years. I started off, I worked for one lady for free just to get some experience under her. Then over time, I started subbing for her. I started subbing for another cleaning company owner that I knew. And I subbed for a couple of different cleaning company owners, actually. And that's how I learned, because those older people and those veterans in the game taught me how to clean. Okay, they were showing me stuff that I never thought to even look at. And so that's the only time I would ever subcontract under anybody else, franchise or just a sub in general. The only time you should sub is if you're looking for a cleaning experience, or if you just in dire need of the money and you plan on cleaning it yourself. Because there's really no money in subcontracting if you're trying to run a real business with and hire people to clean it for you. Ain't gonna be too much to go around for the worker to make money. And if you do pay the worker fairly, then it won't be enough left over for you to profit, right? You see what I'm saying? So, and again, now it is certain situations where it is enough money to go around. But the key to that is the prime contractor bidding high enough for everybody to eat. And 9 times out of 10, the prime contractor isn't bidding high enough for everybody to eat, because they would have to charge more than they typically would charge in order for it to make financial sense for everybody to eat, right? You see what I'm saying? And so most of the time, specifically franchises, typically don't bid high enough to do that. As a matter of fact, most of the time franchises underbid. So that probably ain't gonna be the answer. All right. So that's why I recommend that you go independent, own all of your contracts, and do all the bidding yourself. Make sure you know how to bid, so you don't have to deal with these types of problems. And also, if you do decide to subcontract under somebody, if you know how to bid, then you don't have to worry about it anyway, because you can automatically go in there and say, hey, this job should pay this. This is the minimum that I can take. So let's just say if you were independent, and usually you would accept, a 40% profit margin. Well, if you're subbing under somebody, you might have to, say, all right, well, I'll take 20% out of the gross amount of the, of the profits. The gross amount of the revenue, right? And so, but that's how you got to look at it, man. Like, just at the end of the day, keep working on trying to get your own contract so you don't have to deal with these problems. And that's why I created Clean Business Network. That's why I created Calculated Clean, the mobile app, right? So you can learn how to bid yourself, because no franchise is going to teach you how to do that. No prime contract is going to teach you how to do that. Get from under these middlemen. Clean Business Network exists. Get the help that you need. Go to cleanbusinessnetwork.com and make it happen. You know what I mean? If you don't know how to invoice, I teach that in the Clean and Business Starter course. All right, so go to cleanbusinessnetwork.com. Very first thing you'll see on that website is the Clean and Business Starter course. Get that. Okay, it's $297, but it's a great investment. Right? That $300 investment would change your whole life, especially in terms of your cleaning company. It'll change your whole life, because you'll now have the information that nobody was willing to tell you before that you were dealing with. You know what I mean? That franchise ain't gonna show you none of the stuff that I'm showing you. And I have plenty of franchise owners who admit to this and tell me this, right? And I was a franchise owner with 2 different companies. I was an operations manager. I've been doing this stuff for years, right? So that's why I created these things for you to help you, so you don't have to deal with this type of stuff in situations. All right. So anyway, that's what I got for y'all. I'm about to go. Talk to y'all later. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm AJ Simmons. Again, cleanbusinessnetwork.com if you need additional help. I'm out of here.